Welcome to Get Wrecked, a podcast about esports, video games, hanging out, and saying mean things about Garrett since he is not here.
I love picking on people who can't defend themselves.
Isn't it the best?
Yeah, because then you don't have to worry about getting defended against.
Here's my problem with that, though, right now, is I am just, like, kind of bushed. I don't have a shoe. Like, I don't have... I'm Evan.
And I'm Nick.
As far as introductions go.
Yeah. If you don't know us yet, you should go back and listen to the other episodes real quick.
I don't know how this is going to be as an introduction episode. Like,
yeah, you're starting a thing already in progress. If this is your first,
this would be like starting up a Pokemon game and being like, I'll skip the starter Pokemon and just go straight to.
Congratulations, you're already at Lieutenant Surge.
Who's that tentacool fella? I want him first.
I like the cut of his jib.
He's a fancy guy.
I want me a Tentacruel. I want me a Mr. Mime. And I want the Tangela thing.
Oh God, we get to talk about the Detective Pikachu. And just,
oh my gosh.
So that's gonna be next episode. This episode's a little different, and you maybe could tell it by the quality and candor of our voices, because they are. I don't want to say they're shot, but they are certainly.
They're getting sultry.
They are at their very limit.
Yeah. I'm getting close to being able to do like Bob Dylan impressions or Benicio del Toro from Sin City, right? Where he's just like swirling around the bottom of the bowl. I can only do that when my voice is shattered, and it's the only.
But the reason that is because we spent the whole weekend at DreamHack with the rest of the Rectify crew, and it was, I think, very fun.
Oh yeah, it was I don't know what the thing is. I don't know exactly what I expected, but when I got there. It was not what it was just not it was like being in, I don't know if you've ever been to like a Las Vegas casino where time never moves and it's always now and there's always stimulating stuff happening all the time.
Yeah, it totally was that. You were just overstimulated the whole time, and like there's so much to do, so many people to see. You're just like
yeah.
There's a lady handing out free monsters. There's a nice lounge where a man holds your mouth open and just shoves it in can by can.
I was very surprised. I was like, do I get a funnel?
No, you got to eat the aluminum.
You eat the aluminum. There's no funnel.
Some monster eating contest.
And no one wins. Everyone wins.
So I was not actually there on Friday. This was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. How was Friday for you?
Friday, well.
And so I think it's probably worth mentioning that we had a little different, I guess, entries to the show. You were a super thing, and I had a press pass.
Right.
So we had a little different. We had kind of gotten to wherever we wanted to, but
yeah. So yeah, between the two of us, we pretty much had the run of the whole show.
Yeah.
Nothing was off limits for our combined might. Well, Friday was a lot of qualifying stuff. So that's where it was still like I tried my hand at the Hearthstone tournament. More about that later.
Right.
And so like there was still 208 people participating at this point, and I was legitimately scared, like hands shaking, nervous, like afraid.
Yeah, you mentioned that, which is crazy to me because like I mean I don't want to like say you shouldn't have been, but like this is qualifiers, right?
I don't know, again, I don't know what I was expecting, but I got there and then I saw people. Obviously, Pizza was there, but he was on our team. So
yeah,
he's like, okay,
he's one of the good guys.
Yeah, it's like I've met Pizza. We took all the photographs and everything the day before. But then like orange is there, purple is there, Muzzy is there,
a whole bunch of
colors.
colors
is there. Yeah, the whole color palette of colors is there.
People who are not your peers in any way.
No, it's like you're going into the rec center, going to play like some 1v1 pickup basketball, and it's like LeBron, Kobe, 1987, Michael Jordan. It's just like, oh god, what's happening?
Well, I just want to play a pickup game,
and RoboCop. It's like and they were the only ones who wanted to play pickup 1v1 basketball. It's like, I just don't know if I'm gonna give you guys the game you deserve.
Well, it was probably kind of weird too, because you have some experience in the casting realm for Hearthstone too, so you had a bunch of casting friends who were there, who we got to meet and stuff, and that was very cool.
Yeah. Oh man. That was
Dr. J in both your basketball metaphor and in the Hearthstone metaphor.
Yeah, Dr. J ready to dunk or commentate Hearthstone. Depends on which one.
So did you show up and were they like, oh, you're playing?
It's like, oh, what are you doing here? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play it. And they're like,
oh no,
okay.
Oh no.
Well, no, they were very supportive. They're like, that's great. So, this is a great experience. This is gonna be a great experience for you. And they were right. And then I got rolled the first two series.
We think everybody should play. It's so great.
It's so great
that everybody gets a chance.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody.
Also, you went a gentleman's 0-3.
I went 3-3 at the end.
Well, and then
I
definitely first,
I did,
so that probably didn't help.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, after 3-3, I determined that my blood pressure couldn't handle anymore, and I wanted to see more of the dream hack that was happening than just being afraid the whole time. So then I was happy to just transition into being a spectator.
Right, which is a lot of fun, and it's tough. Probably to go to those events kind of as half a spectator, half a like if you're Pizza, for instance, that guy was in the zone the whole time,
dialed in.
Yeah,
just a level of focus that is.
Yeah, if you want to see some cool Hearthstone, that is your fella.
Yeah, and he even got interviewed by the venue.
Yeah, we didn't even get to interview him.
No.
Well, it's funny. We had a whole bunch of stuff, and maybe I'll pull it up of like stuff planned to do, and then when I got there and was like, this is all out the window.
Yeah, there's always stuff always happening constantly, and it's very loud and very high contrast lighting scenarios.
Yeah,
and just nowhere to go.
Well, I'm used to I work at a radio station for any of our listeners who don't know, and I'm used to covering like big music festivals, and I kind of assumed this would be the same, but it's not. Picture like 9 music festivals going on at the same time concurrently, right?
Yeah.
And then picture half of the audience is actually like pretty solid famous musicians themselves. So you're like, oh, can I interview you? But like, it's like, oh, this guy's a super great jazz artist. So I should treat him with the level of prestige of a jazz artist, but I'm actually here for the rock guys or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, But it's kind of weird, you know?
One of our guys, we were just talking before the show, Jarv, casually. So he's like a Fortnite player. If I'm not mistaken.
He's on our Fortnite team. Yeah. Very, very, very good Fortnite player.
Yeah, he just rolls up into the beta tournament of Realm
Royale,
Royale
the
and just
game.
like comes in 5th.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, NBD.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. So yeah, your analogy, it's like 9 main stages worth of main stage acts, and then everyone in the audience could be on the main stage.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I hadn't done it before, so I was just like, I didn't know what to expect, because you get there, right, and there's these big gates, and you go in, and it was really funny, actually. Tyler and I, Ty Boy, and I had to kind of finesse the press guy.
Oh, did you hit him with the charm?
Well, so what happened was I thought Ty said I had media credentials, and I had offered to just get my own because I'm with the rock station here in Atlanta, just whatever was easiest, you know. And he said he had told me press confirmed. He was telling me he had been press confirmed, which was the thing we had previously been talking about. So it's stupid me. I thought he meant me because I'm so vain and obsessed with myself. So we just went to the guy and we were like, can we get another press badge?
Yeah. And then you nat 20'd your
Buddy,
charisma roll.
Well, it was the help of me and Ty. Ty obviously being the official, being like, we have this email that like technically could get it to us, but like there was also some stuff with the application, but we kind of had some trouble there. Or it could have been a much worse situation. But like, so on the top floor is just like a regular hotel floor. You see maybe some cosplayers, there's like, like 10, 12 people hanging out. And then you go down to the basement.
And that's where it is.
And as people who play video games know,
you go to the basement.
The basement is the place to be.
Yeah.
And it is just this like huge, oh my God. Like if you guys haven't been to a big esports event yet, I could not recommend it more. Cause like, yeah, it's just a bunch of bros hanging out watching video games, like
right, watching video games playing. Oh my gosh, yeah, and just the amount of skill. I don't know if you're familiar or if you've ever experienced nerd chills before. Like when you see there's a real name for it, and I can't think of what it is. But when you see someone do something that you know is difficult, and you see someone do it incredibly skillfully,
yeah,
nerd chills. That's what I call it. I don't know what it's actually called.
So I had like 2 of those this weekend. Besides all the sweats, because our Rectify team, while we didn't like do quite as well as we would have hoped, we also did like incredible across the board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh my gosh, that Brawlhalla top 8 was amazing. Speaking of nerd chills.
Dude, Lil Capped is just...
He's a monster.
I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that feeling. He's up against Lil Capped, our boy, is up against the 2-time world champion, right?
2-time world champion.
First game, just annihilates him.
Yeah.
Almost 3-stocks him. Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Brawlhalla is like a platform fighter. So 3-stocking someone is a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal.
Lays the smackdown with his giant stop sign. Oh my God, dude. It was like it was something he channeled something otherworldly. So it was that. I didn't get to catch any of Pizza's games, but that and our Halo 3 team.
Oh man, the Halo 3 team. So their story is amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's the coolest story, dare I say, at Dream. It was the coolest story at DreamHack.
And they, you know what? I was going to recap, but I realized you're the one who told me this, so you should probably.
Oh, sure.
These two dudes, neighbor and best man.
Yeah, so I could get this wrong, but they both were legendary, awesome Halo 3 players. Right,
like legendary difficulty, but also legend status.
Right, but also just very good.
Yeah.
And they they retired from the game basically. I think Neighbor played a little bit more, but I know Best Man went to actually work on Halo 4, so he was ineligible to compete on any of the newer Halo games, so he just wasn't. But here's the thing: at this DreamHack, there were Halo 3 tournaments. So this was kind of like the return for these guys. And they came in and they wowed everyone. It was amazing. They got third. Like, it was...
Yeah, like overall third. Not like third in the pre-qualifiers for the et cetera and so forth. Like, no shit third.
Yeah, it was...
On their first appearance back as a 2v2 team.
Oh, boy. They, and that was some of the chill stuff. I remember, like, both of these guys just, like, had this amazing teamwork. They had these pincer things, and they were making shots that, like, God, what Neighbor does with the sniper rifle in Halo 3 is some of the most impressive stuff I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, just like watching them makes you remember why you loved that game in the first place. Because I think a lot of people listening, Halo 3 is kind of like is a really good entry point for sort of first-person shooter esports.
Yeah, because I guess that was the first real big one on the 360. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it was fair to say. It was like it was huge and it had esports support. So like it wasn't quite like a CS:GO where it was a console, right? And a lot of people kind of get their start at video gaming through consoles, which makes sense, of course. So just like watching people play Halo 3 again, the whole time I'm just like, I want to leave and go play Halo. That's all I want to do.
And the nice thing about DreamHack is you don't have to leave. There's like Halo 3 play. Yeah, if they hadn't been sitting right in front of me, I would have sworn they were using an aimbot. It's like there's no way he's hacking.
They had cheat codes.
I know you hack. No Game Sharks. This is a oh no, they're just that good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intimidating. Yeah. Oh man, you mentioned pizza a second ago. The dude. I feel so like he did amazing. Like I mentioned, it was a 208 person open tournament.
Yeah.
Right, in a card game, and he.
Top 16 or the finals, right?
Yeah, you have to make top 16 to make it to Championship Sunday, and he came in 17th, which is amazing.
But also,
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, I want to get him on the show and just to have him just drop an F-bomb.
Yeah,
because he's earned it.
Can we get him in? Can find him a rage room where you can just smash.
And it's frustrating because it's not like he did poorly by any.
No, he went 7-2.
Yeah, and I think one of those games he actually had to drop. Like there were extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, you were saying there was a disconnect, or there was something?
I didn't get the full story because we were only like seriously not even 24 hours removed from it, so I didn't get the whole thing. But I believe that he had to just drop the game, so he only lost one game, is my understanding, and had to not play the other.
Yeah,
we'll get him on the show, and he can
set the record straight.
Yeah, he can set the record straight.
But yeah, but I mean, what a top 20. So that's the top 10%.
Yeah,
right. Like he dabbed on 180 something haters, like 183 haters he got to dab on.
And as we've mentioned on the show prior, dabbing on haters is the true reason to play esports.
I'm sure. I mean, like points, HTT points is nice, money is nice, career is nice, all that stuff is nice. But dabbing on the haters is why we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, yeah, no. Actually, we're gonna get Tyboy, our CEO.
Yeah, he's like the commander in chief or something.
The owner. He's the head honcho. We're gonna get him on the show, and he'll probably know a little better.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got all these facts and figures in front of him.
But so one of my other favorite things about the showroom floor is that there's a huge like indie game showroom, and I am a big supporter of indie games. So I wanted to just kind of talk about some of the ones that we saw that were particularly cool or interesting or what have you.
Yeah,
you know.
Did you have a chance to play the Twin Cop game?
So I actually played it at 2 other conventions.
Oh, okay.
I've played it before. I didn't get to play it here, and I think your demo was a little longer, but it's so fun. So
such a crazy premise.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to run through these. Twin Cop is a co-op shooter where one player controls half of a cop and the other player controls half of a cop.
And you combine them into a single cop.
So one of you guys basically works, it's top down. One of you guys works the right half. One of you guys works the left half. So you kind of got to move in unison and stuff.
Yeah. And when driving, oh my gosh. Since you're playing as two halves of the same police officer, naturally you have to drive two halves of the same police car.
Right.
And so both players have just throttle forward. And so you both have to hit the throttle at the same time if you want to go straight, which is almost impossible.
Which is like any rowing mini game in Mario Party is how I would roughly describe that game.
Yep, that's fair.
My favorite part though is there is also a bit of dialogue option.
Yes.
But each player picks half the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So that's right. So you can very easily mix and match the first and second half of the sentences.
Right.
To be, whimsy, acts of whimsy.
So one of the lines I think was a boat shows up, that your rival or whatever shows up, and it's the first half of the line I believe you picked, we're gonna need, and then it was some more boats,
yes,
some bigger guns, or jail time or something. Yeah. And I was obviously you got to pick some more boats.
We're gonna need some more boats. Yeah,
just hokey action cop lines.
And you did hear that right. He said boats. The person that ripped you in half initially was a boat.
Was a pontoon boat.
It was a pontoon boat, seemingly accident, but spoilers.
Was it?
It was malicious intent.
Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, that game was super cool.
Yeah, that was fun. We've both been really excited about Keyforge, and they had a kiosk at the show.
Yeah, so Keyforge is a game. That's not a video game at all, actually.
No.
That is a trading card game that we like, but they had it there, so I think it's fair to. So
Right.
Guess what, bitches? We get to talk about it.
Physical cards that you could burn if they anger you, and you wouldn't be destroying an electronic device.
So yeah, Keyforge is a card game, and the hook of the game is that no two decks are the same. So you buy a $10 deck. It has a randomly generated deck list, and that is your deck. And you can't edit it at all. You can't trade it, or cards in it at least. You can trade the deck for another deck.
But it exists as a single entity.
Right. So you'll not only have different decks, but also it becomes suboptimal, which is kind of interesting in some ways.
Right.
And most of them are it's balanced. A lot of the cards I haven't found to be oh, this is useless. I have one card that is not as good because I don't have as many of that type of creature that it affects, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it sort of addresses one of the things that has often come up in all trading card games, be they physical or digital.
Right.
Where it's always going to be the top 1% of cards that are going to see construct, or top 1/2 of 1% of most powerful cards that are going to see constructed play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this game has an interesting way of trying to prevent that from happening, right? Because the deck is procedurally generated to be at a power level that is equal to everybody else, more or less.
Right. So the problem then becomes, at least, so there's obviously kind of a two-sided sword with that. Is it kind of in some ways eliminates a very, very hard secondhand market. And I'm in the Discord group and a Facebook group, so I'm kind of seeing how a secondhand market is kind of forming. And it's just right now it's over a couple of decks with a couple of popular cards, which is interesting. But for me, I really want a deck with the Knight guys and the Barbarian guys, because I just like those.
Yeah.
And the only way to seemingly get those is to just buy more of the decks.
True.
Or go buy an overpriced one from somebody on the secondhand market.
Right, when you get to, because you don't get to see the deck list until after you buy it.
Correct.
That is a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but it's a cool game. I have not really had the chance to play it. The other cool thing is that it's not a super offensively minded game. The goal, unlike most card games, is not to knock your opponent down to zero. It's to build up a small cache of keys.
Keyforge.
Which you make in the game.
That's the moment when we look at each other because they just said the title of the movie.
Yeah.
It's are they gonna see? Are they ever gonna say Fantastic Beasts and where to find them?
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. I played another physical card game. This is the last physical card game we'll talk about probably. From Level 99 Games. It's called Temporal Odyssey, which is
Yeah.
Got a press copy of that, which is pretty sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah. But I would talk about it anyway because I really liked it. It's actually very similar to a game I'm designing, but that is totally beside the point. Anyway,
coming soon to a DreamHack near you.
The really cool thing about it, and I won't spend too much time about it, but you have a starting hand, And throughout the game, you have 3 stacks, past, present, and future, that you can draft other cards from. So mid-game, you're making your own deck, essentially, which is really neat. It's kind of a deck building game, but it's also kind of not, because it's not a traditional deck building game.
Because each of the heroes is a time traveler, so dying is only a setback.
Right, exactly.
Because you immediately rewind time and bring yourself back to life.
Yeah, so it's a super cool game if you're into. I like that it is a card game in a box, which is a really tough thing to do.
Yeah.
And this is actually that company has built my favorite board game called Millennium Blades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the same folks. I did not know that.
Yeah, there's
Connecting the dots.
it's actually a Millennium Blades character card in the deck, which is pretty sweet, which is another card game in a box. Anyway,
fun references.
This is a video game. This is a video game podcast.
Right, right.
So,
oh man, what about Split Arena?
I was just about to say the most video game of all time. I can't quite remember the name, but it's basically Halo 2 meets Portal. It's exactly that. Do not alter your idea of that. It looks, but in a lot of ways, it still has its own like charms. I played with an Xbox controller because I feel Halo should be, but I was also immediately reminded why like mouse and keyboard is kind of better.
It's yeah. When we were all playing together, they gave us all the option of keyboard or and it was like any kind of controllers and stuff. And I ended up doing mouse and keyboard and then remembering why I like controllers.
And I had the opposite, actually. I was like, I'll play this with the controller because everybody else is doing the mouse and keyboard. But like, for Halo specifically and Halo feeling games, I really want an Xbox controller. It's what I'm used to. That being said, I know that mouse and keyboard is more efficient for shooting because you can kind of draft. I mean, at least for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'd say it's definitely. It's the Split Gate.
Split Gate.
Sorry, I've been slightly distracted. It's called Split Gate.
You're fine.
And I guess they're in alpha right now.
Yeah, very cool. I signed up for an alpha key. I'm hoping to get more of that.
Yes. Yeah. I just like using the mouse and keyboard is like, oh yeah, this is a good control scheme for first person shooters. It makes a lot of sense. But my hands just like the shape of controllers. I don't think I would have done better. To your point, I think I would have performed worse.
About the same, worse, really?
I think I would have performed worse with a controller, but I just like.
If everyone was using a controller, it would be fine.
Yes.
Well, and that's sort of like a thing that is I know in like the Smash community is like a really big argument right now is controller usage basically.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, so in Melee very specifically, the GameCube controller is obviously the Kang.
Yeah, that's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the canon controller.
Yeah, and so it's a great controller. I'm a big fan, but it is also very bad if you have like, carpal tunnel and things like that. So somebody made like basically a fight stick for it, and people don't want it at competitions because it's,
really?
Yeah.
Because it's
some
canon?
people because right, exactly, because it's maybe gives someone an unfair advantage or something. I don't personally have a problem with it.
Yeah,
like
especially when people like, and obviously this is a different fighting game, so it doesn't directly apply, but Sonic Fox beats everybody with a PlayStation 4 controller.
Yeah, right.
And people show up with their big hits, like fight sticks and hitboxes and all that kind of stuff. And then he uses a PlayStation 4 gamepad and destroys them.
Peripheries are interesting for, and we'll probably, this is something we can expand upon in the future, but I was having a conversation with Jar of our, one of our Fortnite fellas.
Yeah, the guy that casually came in 5th in just an open tournament.
And he was just, I was talking to him about the competitive Fortnite scene. He's like, yeah, none of the, it's all like regulated and crappy, right? So you can't bring your own stuff to Fortnite tournaments.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that.
Yeah, which is wild to me.
Which seems really strange.
Because if you're used to playing with, something with like 15 buttons for all your builds or whatever on the side, like it's incredibly insane to me that you can't just like do that.
Right.
I don't think anybody thinks that would put you at an unfair advantage, right? If everybody gets to kind of have free reign of how they play.
Yeah, bring your mouse, and then you have to you can. I would assume that they would make it a requirement that you have to bring your own mouse.
Yeah,
that's right. That's odd.
Yeah,
that's so different because in Hearthstone it was bring your own device.
Yeah,
if you wanted to play, you had to have your own device to play Hearthstone on.
Pizza played on a GD iPad, right?
Like, yeah, he did. He had an iPad and he had an Ethernet adapter, which I didn't know existed, and that's how he was playing Hearthstone.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's the opposite. But it's the two sides of a fence.
One other game I wanted to talk about is One Step from Eden, or Last Step from Eden.
Yeah, One Step from Eden.
Which is a game I've actually seen on the old Twitter box before, and I was very excited to finally get to try it. And it is a Mega Man Battle Network clone. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge diehard fan of the Mega Man Battle Network, so it was really neat to see the game, like, in all its glory.
Yeah, it was cool to see because that was a 4x4 grid. right? Once the
I think it
was
was
4x4, because Mad Grand Battle Network was 3x3, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It seemed like you were moving. It seemed like it gave you a lot more flexibility to move around.
It was a lot faster, and they replaced the card system basically with spells, which were a little more immediate, which was really interesting. And the guys who made it are super cool, super friendly.
Yeah.
Dems was good.
Yep, Dems was good. I would concur.
I also played Highlight Heroes, which was a lot of fun. It's coming to the Switch, I think. It's like a arcade-style sports games, which I also really, really enjoy.
So Highlight's the one where you throw a skull with a stick. Is that Highlight?
I think it's a pelota, technically, which is like a rock.
So you throw a... So was it ever a skull?
I don't know.
In the legend, in the etymology of the game?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Highlight sounds sweet, though.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot like racquetball, so it's a very natural, like, 8-bit fit. Any other games? You play anything cool?
Well, I also tried to play Realm Royale, and I did not come in 5th.
How was that? That's Hi-Rez, the company that makes Smite and Paladins. That's their take on the Battle Royale genre.
Yeah, they took... from what I understand, and I think it's still in closed beta at this point, but they took the Battle Royale schema, and instead of crafting structures like Fortnite, now there's like spells and magic and abilities and stuff. It's like a high fantasy Battle Royale, but there's still guns.
Right.
The truth is I've played very little Battle Royale, and so I don't really know how it stacks up to the other folks out there. The art style is cool, and the movement was very fluid, I had a dodge roll. I played as the archer.
Right, so there's classes?
Yeah, there's 4 character classes. Oh, yeah, there's 4 character classes.
That's neat, yeah.
So it's like the mage, the warrior, the assassin, and the hunter. And I like my bows and arrows and my dodge rolls and stuff, so I played as the huntress. And the biomes were cool. There was like a winter biome and a desert biome and like the forest town and all that stuff. But, I mean, all the core gameplay conceits were the same. Ever-constricting ring, forcing people into conflict with each other, scavenging for everything.
That's pretty cool.
When you die, you turn into a chicken, which is very funny.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, if you can run around long enough without getting executed, it's like 15 seconds. You actually get to come back to life.
Oh, that's really interesting. I like a little more survivability. That's really cool.
I mean, it's damn near impossible.
Of course,
right? Because you're just a chicken, but you can still play in squads of 2. So maybe your buddy can cover you while you de-chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, overall had a pretty good time at the old Dreamhack.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I need I'd say I need about 18 hours of consecutive sleep if I'm going to catch up on all the sleep. But
Yep.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope. But we are going to go to our bonus round. Give me one sec. We got a little sound effect for this. There we are. Here we go.
We've safely arrived in the bonus stage.
Yep. I need to pull up some sponsors because we got some. Nick, would you like to do the first one?
Sure. I would like to start with Control Freak this time, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, please.
Control Freak was actually at DreamHack. I don't know if you saw their booth.
I did. I did not get a chance to go say hey, but I probably would have liked to.
Yeah, well, they've got a bunch of cool controllers and controller accessories, or dare I say controller accessories.
Hey, nice.
Dare I? I do dare.
Dare you?
And because they are friends of the show, you can take this with you to the bank, save 10% by using the code RCG on any Control Freak product. That's RCG, 10% in your pocket, and you still get accessories. Double success.
It's pretty sweet.
In your pocket or cart or both. First your cart, then your pocket. I did that in the wrong order. Cart, pocket.
All right, I'm going to go for our sponsor that actually saved my life this weekend. That is no lie. Because we had a bunch of merch from these guys to give out, and we gave out some, but I selfishly had to crack one open because I had forgot a phone charger because I'm a big idiot. And also my phone has been having some battery issues lately, so my regular chargers have not been cutting it. And this is no BS here. This is totally real. I used Echo Gear's, their 3-way USB wall port, and it charged my phone up like it hasn't been charged in months. Seriously.
Did it stay charged for more than 4 hours?
It stayed charged for more than 4 hours. Yeah, but that's more probably about the phone than the charging. But still, I mean, it actually charged. My phone typically doesn't charge past like 45%, but this charger did that.
Nice.
It's amazing.
And it's cool. It's actually got striated ports. So there's like a fast charging port,
which
like a regular port.
2 regular ports and a fast one.
Yeah, which is just so cool.
Which I'm also now using to charge some other stuff that I can't say or else I'd avoid the warranty of it. But
right.
Just because it's not an officially licensed Nintendo product. But it's doing the job on a certain portable console.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it needs the incredible amount of devices that need different kinds of throughput is really just a vexing thing that I feel like I deal with more than I expected to.
Right. So any phone screen accessories you need, Echo Gear is so approved by us, and you can use 10 Rectify for 10% off at your checkout.
Yeah. And now, do you mind if I go to my favorite one again?
Please.
Okay. Outbreak Nutrition. Outbreak Nutrition. Another folk that I'm just gonna go ahead and say I would still enjoy another piece of lore, Outbreak, if you're out there, because I love the lore around your stuff.
You just gotta get in touch with them and just be like, let me
look. Can we have more lore? I love the world building. They're making coffee now. Did you hear about this?
I had from you several times.
Have I brought up that they make coffee now?
Well, they were sending us a bunch of stuff to give out, which we'll probably be doing a giveaway soon, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
And you were like, did they send us coffee? Are they sending us coffee?
Just curious, asking for a friend. They're sending coffee. But friends of the show, use code Rectify for 15% off at checkout. And actually, I do have a little bit of because we did a thought experiment on the last episode about what would happen, and actually there is a little bit of apocalyptic pre-workout stuff from them.
Cool.
So Pathogen, that's the name of their pre-workout, is unlike any energy boosting pre-workout you have ever seen.
And I've seen a few.
If you thought your current pre gave you a body boost, Pathogen will hit you like a nuclear shockwave.
Woo!
With a world-ending combination of energy-inducing stimulants and muscle pump-evoking compounds, Pathogen will push you to peak condition. In this state, you will tear through your training and dominate the post-apocalyptic world. So we were doing that as a thought experiment, but it's true.
Yeah.
The science is there. So Rectify at checkout, 15% off. Do yourself a favor. They sell coffee. I don't know if I mentioned that.
That's pretty sweet. Our next sponsor is MetaThreads. And let me tell you something. Oh my God, our jerseys look so good.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to be super biased or anything.
But the pictures are there.
But the pictures are there.
All the players are wearing the new jerseys.
Just compared to other jerseys, our jerseys look so much better. Even professional football jerseys, our jerseys look better.
Was that you with an La Sainte Grave on it? Football.
Yes, it was.
Nice.
Yeah. Just go look at some of the photos from DreamHack, and you'll see the quality of MetaThreads. If you want to get any Rectify merch, that's the place to go. Or if you want to just get some other stuff. I don't know. Maybe you're looking to make a shirt with your face on it. They can probably do that.
Yeah, I would imagine they can.
Yeah.
If you, for those of you who already have your own face tattooed on your back, I'm looking at you, Steve-O.
A big listener.
Go. Known friend.
Fun fact, I used to be Xbox Live friends with him.
Really?
I was. We played Red Dead Redemption 1 once together.
Did he get his face tattooed on his Xbox account somehow?
Yeah, I think so.
I would assume so.
Yeah, obviously. Probably a special thing.
And I would also assume that he would get his face tattooed on his autofull gaming chair that he was probably sitting in whilst playing Red Dead with you.
That's a solid seg, my dude.
Boom! I learned from the best. Autofull gaming chairs for sitting in. Look, if there's one thing that I learned at DreamHack over this weekend is that there is a lot to be said for a comfortable chair to sit in, because some of those folding chairs, I don't really enjoy the feeling of my legs falling asleep while I'm trying to watch Counter-Strike or something.
Or as a professional esports player.
Exactly. And so being able to sit in an autofull gaming chair allows you to think about stuff like the game you're playing and not like, I wonder if my legs will ever move again, or I wonder if a clot, I wonder if a clot's going to form and then hit my femoral artery and kill me. These are the things you don't want to have to think about.
Should blood be pooling there?
Right? Anywhere. should blood be pooling anywhere? Don't have your blood. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you don't want your blood to pool, get an autofull gaming chair. Or don't, and your blood will get stuck in your knees.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
the choice is yours.
Let's get the fudge out of here. And we're back.
Level up.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and try and get Ty on the phone, our head honcho. It's ringing. Oh, I got a little thing. Oh. Hello. Oh,
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Ty.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
You're on the show.
Oh.
Yep.
Say hello to the entire internet. And Steve-O.
Hello there, internet. How you guys doing out there?
Doing good, man.
They just did the wave. I saw it.
Oh, man. Oh, well, welcome to the program. This is the first time you've actually been on the show since we kind of inherited it.
I know. I was looking for. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm completely tired, but yeah, it's. I've been looking forward to coming on this podcast at least one time, and since it started, it's been going good. And you guys have been kicking some ass doing it. So.
Oh, we appreciate you saying that. We just wanted to talk to you a little bit about DreamHack and see, what your thoughts were.
DreamHack Atlanta 2018. I mean, I don't know what to say. So much stuff has gone on that event. Obviously, some things that we wanted to do didn't happen, but our esports teams played very well. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I guess we could start with Wonderbread since he was the longest. He's been here the longest out of all those players. In doubles, he placed top 6, top 5. In doubles with Rio Tommy, who's with Spiral Cafe, and 33rd in singles, which 33rd was our worst placing out of everyone. And honestly, that's still a good placing compared to lands we've played in the past.
Yeah, I mean,
so
33
and
at a
it's
huge
a good way
event.
to it's a good way to send off him in Smash 4 and move on to Ultimate, because I think Wonderbread has huge potential going to Ultimate with Tommy as well, and doubles, and of course Wonderbread when he plays singles. I just have a good feeling about it. Smash Conference in Genesis 6, Wonderbread will be at. And
yeah, I guess
that should be great.
I didn't even think about this. This is their last Smash 4 tournament.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Wonderbread when we were all shooting the photographs, and I asked him, is Smash 4 gonna persist like Melee has, and he cut me off at that point and said, the very first frame that Smash Ultimate is available, I'm pretty sure Smash 4 will never be played again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to throw that Wii U outside.
Yeah.
Throw it to the side.
In the rain.
Launch it out of a trebuchet right into a brick wall.
It's safe to say that everything Nintendo competitive-wise will be on the Nintendo Switch where it should be.
Of course.
Great to see moving forward.
And I was actually talking.
Moving on.
We're just talking about his 32nd, 33rd placement, and what was amazing is a lot of the players that I was talking to over the course of the entire conference were trying to get like top 50.
Yeah, right.
Right, like there was people. Obviously, I spent a lot of time over at the Hearthstone area, and there was this guy who was just like, "Man, I think I'm actually going to be able to make maybe like a top 50 finish this time."
Yeah.
And he'd been to several dream hacks, and I feel for the guy because he tries really hard. It seemed like he was trying really hard. It was like, man, everyone on Rectify did better than you at every game they participated in, was what I was thinking on the inside. I didn't say it out loud.
Right. Or did you think that part and say the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet?
Oh, I hope not. It was a long weekend. I had been to 2 raves.
Right. So moving on, though, we obviously the big story is the Halo 3 team.
Yeah, the Halo 3 team, best man and neighbor. When I found out in August that we were going to take them on to this event, I mean, that was a no-brainer to take them on. And 2 real guys who've been, obviously, in the industry for a very long time, in the esports industry. Back in the day, best man and neighbor playing with Triggers Down, one of our iconic teams there. And... we fell short with the Halo 3 team. I mean, finishing top, 5th place, I think.
It was 5th? Oh.
The team as a whole, they know they could have done better. We all know that. We weren't, neighbor and best man obviously weren't satisfied with that. They all had a good time and everything, but
right.
It goes to show you that the kids that were playing online that go unnoticed really showed up to this event.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed to see that a couple teams that you would never expect to be a guy like Best Man Neighbor, Flamesword Roy.
Oh my God, right?
Guys like Ghostyami, but they really put on a scare. I mean, round 2, game 1 was tied 24-24. They had to redo game 1, and then they 2-0 double time. But I was actually talking to someone who was sitting next to me while watching Best Man and Neighbor play, and he was saying that friends were on double time, and their goal wasn't to win the event. They just wanted to make a statement that these online kids aren't just like random kids that are just going to lose. They're going to give you a hard time, and they're going to put on a show, which they did.
That's awesome.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
no, it was clearly, probably it's tough to say what the sweatiest moment, that was something we were joking about all weekend, was like, just because we had some tight, amazing finishes from all our teams.
Yeah, everything was so, and we were, I think it was just particularly Halo 3, there was like 5 top-tier teams up on a big full-screen graphic.
Yeah, we were there.
Rectify was dead center, baby.
Oh, my God. How cool was that?
When I saw that, I was like flipping out. I mean, you're up there with Optic Gaming, Flames with Roy. I mean, those 2 guys alone are, been in it for so long. And I remember watching Halo competitive, back in 2010, 2011. That's when I really started getting into it more and more.
Right.
If you told me when I was like 12 years old that I was going to own an esports organization, Best Man and Neighbor,
probably
to represent that organization, I would have told you that would be impossible because I have no idea how to run an esports organization, or will esports even be that big by the time I'm that old,
Yeah.
Was it even called esports then?
It's crazy how things happen sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, no, this was certainly a wild, wild thing. What was the most hype moment for you as as kind of the general manager of the organization?
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it's a tough one.
Moment for me, during just for the Halo 3 team or overall?
Well, overall.
Yeah.
Overall. I don't know.
It's obviously you love all your children.
It's like what I'm trying to figure out. On Saturday night, I went I'm just sitting there at a table, beer in my hand. I'm just sitting there with a blank expression, just trying to think what happened, because there's so many things I could point to. Just the fact that so many people were noticing, Rectify esports and complimenting. Just the jerseys alone were awesome.
Dude.
Noticing it, but
so good.
I would have to say, what really got really hyped. It was a bit little weird. It was for the Halo 3 team.
Mm.
It was during that losers match. I forget what the team name was called, but
it wasn't. It was the one before it was those stinky guys.
Oh, it was called they were called Those Guys, and everyone was surrounding. I was looking around the circle. I'm like, oh my God, all these people are watching, and all over Twitter, everyone's just tweeting about it. And wow, people really care about Halo 3, and I think that event really spoke volumes to what the people want. Compared to when it comes to competitive Halo.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's always tough because obviously Halo 3 is has got the hype behind it, of course.
It's like the Smash Melee of Halo games.
Well, but also speaking of other Smash Melee games, it's because I imagine it's probably similar to you, as the Little Capped is also.
My God,
yeah.
That Little Cap top 8 was insane. I credit that with why my voice is partially shattered today.
Oh my God.
Dude, I just found myself instinctively shouting things like "Let's go, Little Cap." Far louder. There's a nice family sitting behind me, and they kept be
jumping.
Yeah, huh.
Yeah.
This gentleman in the large jacket keeps shouting very loudly about caps. They didn't call me a gentleman.
Yeah. Well, so.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, go on.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Lil Cap, he had a really good run in doubles and singles. Last year's World Championship 2017 in Atlanta, he placed 25th in singles. Now he plays top 6 in this event. So
and it's not like he went
he's really
down.
Improved over.
It's not like he just he came in 6th. He went down to the 2-time world champion.
Right, exactly.
Right, it's he shows up and he's got to play against Kobe.
Yeah,
one-on-one. That's the second time I brought up Kobe. For some reason, Kobe's on my mind.
Yeah, why do you think about Kobe so much?
I don't know. I guess because I'm not. Yeah, that's a good. I don't even follow basketball that
much.
No,
you don't. Oh man, yeah, it was wild, right?
And I think losing that LDZ game, that game one, he like LilCap looked like he had it, you know.
Dude,
Yeah,
that was.
It's gonna
I
be an easy
mean,
match, but
it was obviously a shame.
I think if LilCap beat LDZ, he would have got like top. I, in my opinion, unbiased, like he would have gotten top 3 if you, because the confidence you get by beating a champion,
Yeah.
it really like lifts you up. It really gets you hyped up, and
it's a mindset thing.
Really, it could have been a game changer.
Plus, like I mean, not to get too much into the Brawlhalla thing, but he had a terrible matchup with those blasters, man. Like that was just
LDZ's blaster game is pretty amazing. Plus, if you to your point, Ty, if you bring down the world champion, that puts the sphere of God into everybody else. Yeah, right? It's like, oh, this is the guy that beat the 2-time world champion.
Well, so and you know,
exactly.
Like we were talking a little bit at the show, like about like the mentality of players and how that's incredibly important apart from just like video game skill. Is there anything that you try to do as a general manager that kind of encourages any sort of environment? How
do you help the players prepare for their shows, for their matches,
shows, their games,
their matches? Yeah.
Can you repeat that question one more time?
Oh yeah, so like is there anything you do as the GM to help your players out, to kind of put them in a better like mindset, or any specific things you try to encourage, things of that nature?
As an organization, you try to, make your players feel as comfortable as possible when going to an event. Like, I'm not talking even just gameplay, it's the outside stuff, sometimes like how are they going to get there, where are they going to stay, that type of stuff, so they don't have to stress about that, and knowing that they have a support behind them, and we try our best to do supply what they need to succeed. And
because something that I noticed, just even with talking to other pros, and this is not a slam on other pros, but something about all the Rectify fellas is everyone on our little team here it was incredibly friendly, like incredibly cool, ready to do whatever. Because we had a dinner and was beforehand, if you remember, on Thursday, and we're just like, here are Nick and I's crazy ideas, and everyone was like, yeah, all right, whatever, that sounds cool. Yeah, I mean, some ridiculous shit we were talking about, like planning on doing. Of course, none of it ended up happening, but the environment of players is really, really awesome.
And during that same dinner, people came up and talked to the folks, like, "Oh, I love your stream.
Yeah,
hey,
I've seen you on stream." To several of the folks. We were just having like just a casual family dinner.
Yeah, it was family dinner.
Yeah, and I mean, to think that we could have like booked the entire place for a big family dinner if we had everyone.
Yeah, but, next time.
Yeah, and I mean, this event really showed me that we really have a good group of people amongst the media team and esports that have a good mindset and are very appreciative and just very positive. That's what I try to aim for when bringing people in, especially players, a positive mindset. Being a team player, even though if they're not in your typical category, So I just like where everything's going. It's looking good. Dreamhack Atlanta really showed a lot. I don't know. I'm still trying to recover from it.
Of course,
bit.
right.
Yeah. And folks should know that we forced you to just like walk off a plane straight into a phone call. So we at least got to like sit in our chairs for a minute before.
Yeah, we got to sit down and just be like, "Why, God?"
It's like my heart and mind are so happy I went, but my knees and feet hate me right now.
Yeah, no, it was such a blast. I just want to thank you again for obviously having us as part of the show, but for running such a cool team. Everyone was there supporting people when their events weren't happening. Like if Lil Cap wasn't playing, he was watching somebody else. If Pizza was done, he was coming to watch Lil Cap or the Halo team or something. There was not someone in a purple jersey playing that also didn't have an audience of folks in purple jerseys, which was it's something special, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm very, very, very grateful to be a part of it.
I don't want to knock on. I don't like doing this with other organizations, but like, I feel like in my mind, it's right to to show in person that to everyone in the world or that's paying attention that this guy does have support within the organization. We're not, we just don't send him out there with no support.
Right.
And I think we really show people that there's a backing of people behind our players, and we're going to support you. So
we swarm, as it were.
As it were.
Yeah.
As our mascot, the Wily Bee, our Hornet.
Whatever you want to call it.
I've been alternating because I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't know what it.
The only thing I know for sure is that I'm afraid
use your
of it.
imagination. You figure it out.
I am afraid of it.
Yeah, everyone should be
Originally,
afraid.
supposed to be a B. So
Yeah.
Cool.
And don't forget, Jarv just casually came in 5th in a Realm Royale pickup game.
God,
yes,
dude's good.
Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
Jar came along, streamed from there, so he did some great stuff.
Yeah.
Our Fortnite player with no really Fortnite events besides, the Battle Royale event was Realm Royale.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to have him there.
Vengeance.
Fortnite. I can't wait to get them to an event in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a big goal for them. They're
Yeah.
really talented people, deserve to get on that stage and really show everyone who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. We had such a good thing. Like I was saying, Vengeance came out and took some awesome pictures. That dude sure knows how to point and shoot a camera. As it turns out, Dual Blades, Mr. Nick too, serving up some of the best online coverage. Man, our whole online team was just like,
yeah. I mean,
didn't miss a beat.
You really got. I mean, so the coordination was something for this event that I was very worried about. But I mean, Edwin Montoya Ryzen, who he did most of basically all the live tweeting on Twitter. I mean, he did a really hell of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And Writers Ferguson and Oki, Wi-Fi player Nick. I mean,
Both
it went really good. So,
and
exactly the type of thing I wanted to mix their media outlet with esports team. So I like it.
Yeah,
for sure. And I should thank Dual Blade for getting me several super hot achievements as well.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Over the course of the photo shoot, he was playing super hot, and I just kept hearing like ding,
super hot. God, that game's so good.
So what is next for you, Ty? What's next for Rectify Esports, or the next big event?
Yeah, is there anything not to spoil anything, of course, but is there anything down the pipeline?
I mean, we were like 2 weeks away from Call of Duty World League Vegas, so I mean, our Call of Duty team's gonna be in Las Vegas.
Cool.
That should be a good event. Probably the best Call of Duty team we'll have that we've had. And that's not a knock on our former teams, but
but yeah, I mean, we have high hopes of our Call of Duty team. I think they could catch people off guard, and that's something to look out for. Call of Duty Division Vengeance is working very hard on that. No kidding.
We're trying to do our best to get on that main stage in pool play. That's what we want. We want to win, and that's the end goal, is to win.
That makes sense.
Very cool.
Well, I think we're about to wrap up the show. Would you like to join us for our final segment here, where we talk about what we're playing this week?
Oh my God.
Yeah. What are you playing?
Wait. We got to play the sound effect. Do you have the sound effect?
Oh, I do have the sound. Hold on.
Yeah. Stand by.
Usually Garrett's job, but he is not here, as some of you may have noticed at this point. I hope.
Gumbo Daddy's not here.
I know, the Gumbo Daddy.
Gumbo
Where
Daddy.
the video games? Where the video games?
All right, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So what are you playing this week, there, boss man?
Now that you've made it off the airplane and you've been home for all of 20 minutes, what video game have you fired up?
I have not. I mean, I only just got.
Right, like plane simulator.
Well, what are you gonna be playing this week?
All right, so this event really got me the itch, so I am probably gonna be playing Halo 3 the most.
Oh my God, same. We were saying earlier in the show, all I want to do is play Halo 3 and Brawlhalla. That is it.
I just want to wang people with a stop sign.
I would play Smash if it was out right now, but it's not. So.
Soon, that's next episode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I might pick up Let's Go Eevee. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about that one myself. Not that I have full confidence it's a good game. I just know I'm going to be dropping it in like a week or two for Smash. Because once Smash comes out, that's my whole life.
It's gonna take up some time. Sorry, friends and family and coworkers. Yeah. What are you playing, Evan?
Well, man, I thought I would be prepared for this. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone, obviously, but my girlfriend and I we've kind of been trying to play something together. So I re-downloaded Fear.
Ooh.
Apart from the Halo 3 and the Brawlhalla stuff, I re-downloaded Fear because I haven't played it before. I said re-downloaded, but I haven't played it before. So
The first-person action shooter?
Correct, yeah. So we're going to play some spooky games.
It is pretty spooky. Yeah. Oh, my God. That game ruined elevators for me.
Yeah?
For like
no, don't spoil anything. But this is my first like dive into it.
Yeah, I had a buddy in college who built this turbo computer so that he could play games like Doom 3 and Fear on super high.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, hey, man, let me give that a try. And he's like, yeah. So I played through it. And, I won't tell you anything. But that did happen to me at a point.
I also started, and I've been playing it. I played it a little bit before work while I was watching your stream, actually. It was Chroma Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys played Chroma Squad?
No, I've read about it, but that's the Power Rangers TV show simulator.
You make a Power Rangers
RPG?
TV show.
I've wanted to play that.
It's so neat. Yeah. But what are you playing?
Man. So I've been playing a little bit of Minion Masters recently.
I saw. I've been meaning to jump on that with you.
Yeah, it's still in beta or early access, but it's currently free on Discord, and it's got a cool deck building, but also lane battling sort of mechanics to it. And the Beta Dwarf folks who make it have a really apparently that there was a point where they were all just living inside of a classroom at a university that no one was using. Yeah. They all moved out of their thing so they wouldn't have to pay. They all moved out of their different places so they wouldn't have to pay rent, and they moved into a classroom, and they successfully lived there until someone like came in and saw that they were just squatting there.
What?
Yeah, Beta Dwarf. Anyway,
Wild.
I think this is the third game they've made. I don't think they're in that situation anymore.
Cool. The game seems cool. I watched you and our buddy Kendall play it. And,
Yes, that's been fun. And I've also Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oop, I think we had a bad connection.
Sorry, Ty, I think I stepped on you there.
No, I'm saying it sounds cool. Sounds like a good game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And it's free on Discord. So if you have Discord, you can just go ahead and pull it down and see for yourself. You can tell me I'm an idiot. Or agree with me. Either one is fine. Or both. They're not necessarily exclusive.
Oh, golly. Yeah, no. So that game looks super cool. Man, what a great weekend. Thanks for everyone for, all our pals and the Discord chat, everybody who listens to the podcast, all that good stuff, for participating and making it such a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
The real dream hack was the friends we made along the way.
Can I just say one thing before?
Please, of course.
Or whatever. Nick, can we talk about Nick's jacket?
Oh my God! How have we not?
Jacket is so good. That jacket is so good. I want that jacket.
So, for those of you guys who have not seen Nick Bells, he is 6'4" and occasionally wears boots that put him in the 6'5" territory.
Yep, that's fair.
He has a genuine red leather Devil May Cry jacket, but it's not so distinct because it obviously is it's very, very, very much Dante's jacket, but it doesn't look like a cosplay. He's just wearing this heavy leather jacket. He wears it all the time. And the jacket, much to, it's an accurately sized jacket, so it fits Nick very well, which means the jacket itself is 6'3".
Yeah, it's a long jacket. And it was funny, at DreamHack, it had a really interesting effect on so there was the people who were there for DreamHack who was like, oh, that's Dante's jacket from Devil May Cry.
Sure.
But then you could also tell if it was a parent or guardian, because they would be like, oh, it's Neo's jacket from The Matrix. I was like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Obviously, you're here as a parent or guardian. And then I could also tell the boyfriends and girlfriends of the people who were there, because they'd be like, oh, it's the Star-Lord jacket.
Right.
You're Star-Lord. Yep. And then the original person who was there for DreamHack would just get this I'm sorry. It's obviously, and it's no, it's fine. Everyone's having fun. It's a long red jacket.
Yeah, how have we not talked about this before? Thank you for bringing that up. You're right.
If I saw you walking in public in that jacket, I would be terrified.
I get a wide.
It's such a threat.
The security for Rectify.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I set off the metal detectors every time. I went inside.
Oh my God!
Not even with the jacket, right?
No, it turned out it wasn't even the jacket. I guess it's because I had my whole head replaced with just a metal sphere.
Yeah, that'll do it. Looking like Mysterio from Spider-Man. Whew, boy. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap up the show here. Ty, thanks for being on. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Cool. Nick?
Thanks. I would just like to echo all of Evan's sentiments. Thanks to everybody for making it a great weekend. That's Evan. I'm Nick. And remember, wreck or get wrecked.
Bye.